Okay, so now a very good chain reaction has now happened. What these tablets are symbolic of has now actualized. Universally, all over this world, every country has a program where the homeless receive free smartphones. Okay? But it's not only on this world, it's on all of these worlds. So here's a world. I mean, here's our world. It's a speck. Okay? Here's a world, a speck. There's another world. It's a very distant galaxy. It's right there. It's a speck. Another world, a speck. Let's fill this whole thing with specks. Bunch of spectacles everywhere. Okay, all the homeless have free cell phones on all these different worlds. And so now we're considering spectaclism. We're making videos about you. Yeah, what a spectacle you are. Man, let's be a turkey and sit on their heads. Okay? And help them make a spectacle of themselves. Okay? That's what we're doing. Okay. All right. So we're going to consider Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Okay? All right. So here's Ohio. Here's Pennsylvania here. Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. Okay? Here's a lake that we used to call Swan Lake. This was called Swan Lake many years ago before fluxes in time. Okay? This is Lake Erie. Lake Erie. Okay? This is a game of duck, goose, swan. Okay? Duck, Ohio. Goose, Pennsylvania. Swan, New York. That's what it is. Okay? So we're going to consider duck nature. Okay? We're playing spectacles. Okay? Spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch. Has to do with the games we're playing now, okay? Okay. Meanwhile, we're playing this game and we cannot succeed with a pattern of corruption. With all these smartphones that the people at risk have, there's no way this can happen. The bad chain reaction to obscurify population groups cannot succeed. This bad chain reaction that Grandma and others have been trying to make cannot succeed. Okay? Meanwhile, we have to acknowledge they're very accustomed to doing this. They are very accustomed to making these bad chain reactions. Okay? However, now there's no way such a chain reaction can succeed. So we're listening to us try. We're trying, okay? All right. Meanwhile, we're making videos about you now. When you try, someone's out there making a video about you. That is natural. It's very naturally true. That's what's going to happen. Even people on other worlds are making videos about people on this world. When you talk about Taffy, how do you know there's any other worlds? Yeah, I like our cute little game of denial. I do. But as we play these video games, it's going to become more and more evident that there are other worlds. In fact, you could conclude people are playing the video game who are not on this world. You already can conclude this. You can think through the variables when you play the game, study the program. You can already see that there are game players who are playing the game The very video game you're playing, who are not on this world, they're on another world. Okay. So how many satellites are in a quantum leap? Okay. I'm going to talk about how this is possible and how it is happening. Okay? This is true. This is what's happening. Okay. All right. So we're playing, you know. Hold on. I got to put it on pause. We're also playing, oh gosh. We're also playing a game of Defeat the Databanks. Okay. So we have these sci-fi movies, you know, such as, oh gosh, on Star Wars somehow there's like a pillar with a data bank in it, you know, and Luke Skywalker has to open it up and take the computer files out of the slot, you know, or whatever. There are these data banks, you know, and we're playing Defeat the Data Banks. Tablet after tablet after tablet, okay? That's what we're doing. But it's impossible. There's always a backup data bank somewhere else, out of reach. The whole thing is sure locked. Okay, there's no way you could really win. Okay, you might play a temporary game, but by and by you'll realize, no, this actually is what's happening. If you get the videos to disappear, we end up just making more videos. That's what it is, okay? Ta-da! That's what the games are. Okay. Hold on, I got to put it on pause. Okay, so, you know, so that's just something to consider. You grew up already. You had a stage where you were playing Duck, Goose, Swan. And then somehow Flux in Time happened and the game became just Duck, Duck, Goose. Somehow. But really, you may want to acknowledge to yourself, it's yet Duck, Goose, Swan. Somehow the game universally is Duck, Goose, Swan. Okay? Okay. So we're going to bring our attention to a dip. I mentioned before, yeah, every dip has these stages. You know, cannibalism, and then crucifixion, and then there's also polygamy. There's a polygamy stage. See, here's a cannibalism, crucifixion, polygamy, etc. There's even other stages, okay? All right, so one reason why Mormons have polygamy in their historical past is because people need to be prepared with different spouses. With the flux in time, my life can be undermined. With the flux in time, it could flux and change, and I end up no longer married to the person I was married to. I could be a polygamist and be prepared with an alternate spouse, and then with the flux in time, I am married to somebody else with my own prepared hand. This is a wise preparation that should be. It is a should be. Don't kid yourself. Okay? All right. So there's polygamy. Now we're going to bring our attention to the neighborhood I lived in. There's a woman in the neighborhood that I lived in, and her name is Arlene Wilson. And there's a man in my neighborhood that I grew up in. His name is Brother Vanoy. Arlene and Brother Vanoy. They used to be married. Both of them have different lifestyle packages over here in D.C. This is Donald Trump. This is Hillary Clinton. Okay, that's who they are. Arlene is Hillary. Brother Vanoy is Donald Trump. That's who they are. Okay, we had a flux in time. We had a dip. Okay, and they wanted to break up Daisy Duck and Donald Duck. Okay. So after this dip, we had a great flux in time, and Arlene was no longer married to her. Arlene was married to somebody else, and Brother Vanoy was married to somebody else. And over here in D.C., Hillary was no longer married to Donald. Hillary was married to Bill Clinton, and Donald was married to other women, okay? But not all at the same time. He ended up having like 3 different wives. So we messed up their lives. We became turkeys to sat on their head, and they, after the flux in time, they not only were no longer married, but it was as if they never even dated. And we were turkeys sitting on their heads, bothering them making them even argue with one another when they don't genuinely feel that way. We decided to be vigilant with them so much we made it so they could not live together anymore in harmony. And it was worth it to them to fold and say, look, you know what, I'll go ahead and be married to this other person, and I also will go over here and be married to this other person, okay? Okay. All right. So I'm going to put it on pause. Okay. And yes, these stages involved underwear. Okay. They did. There's a ritual that involves underwear. Okay. So we're going to consider how Ryan took that pillar from me. There was a flux in time and Ryan took the pillar from me. Okay. He disappeared as a boy, as a kid, a child. And he reappeared from another lifestyle package as an adult male. And what? Did he point his gun at Randy's head? Randy's my dad! Did he point a gun at Randy's head and say, you will buy me Superman under roof's underwear and make sure I have it, okay? Oh my gosh. How crazy these stages of Sodom and Gomorrah were. Okay? That's what it is, though. Okay. This is your Mormon ritual. This is your Mormon ritual even today. Okay? That's what it is. Okay.